Some of you were with me over the past couple of years when I ran a workshop called Your Engaging Voice. And the focus of that particular workshop, which actually went round the world, I had no idea how popular it was going to be, but I gave it over 50 times in different Toastmasters clubs and areas and divisions and districts and different countries. One of the things about that was that we went in search of our best vocal quality. We needed to free up our voice to start with. This particular workshop, this session, Your Expressive Voice, is looking more in detail at a way of working towards specific vocal qualities and how we can use that when we give our presentations and speeches, how we can extend this thing, this amazing thing that people classify as vocal variety. Vocal variety, what is it? How do we do this? You know, is it making our voices go up and down like an elevator? No, it's not. It's actually relating to the words we say. And I often say in evaluations, and members of this club have heard it from me before, that everything that we do vocally is rooted in the meaning and expression of our words. And so we're going to be working in that direction this evening. But first of all, I just want to do a little bit of a revision because, you know, for some of you, it's been a long while since you went to Your Engaging Voice. So we just need to get our posture and our breathing right this evening. I want you to be nice and comfortable behind your computer screen. Please don't do any movements that are rushed or fast. This is a warm-up that we're doing now. It'll be useful for you. Several members here have mentioned that they've been in contests this week. This is useful to do before the contest rounds. So we take things nice and steadily. You're in your own home. I'm trusting you to keep yourselves nice and safe and just follow along with me. So first of all, we're going to make sure that our feet are nicely planted on the ground, no wider than shoulder width apart, and we can think of ourselves as having a line that goes up the back of our legs, it goes up our spine, and then our shoulders are back and relaxed and our head is just crowning our bodies. And that way we look poised and we look ready to speak. I'm taking a look at you. I'm on my gallery view here, you see, so I can take a look at you all. That's splendid. That's it. Yeah. It's just a matter of sitting with a good posture or standing with a good posture. We don't need to be stiff or military or reined in any way. It's just balanced and nice. And when we've got this feeling, this posture, this balance, this springy balance that we get, we can start to look at our breath a little bit. So first we'll breathe out and then take your thumb and place it below your lowest rib. Good. And we're going to gently breathe in and you'll feel a little expansion at your lowest rib. Nothing big, but just a little. You can breathe through your nose and through your mouth or one or t'other, whichever suits. Breathe out again. And once more. That's even good. Another way to stabilize your breath lower down the body is actually to place your hand on your back, because you know the rib cage goes right the way round, the lungs go right the way round. If you place your hand on your back, keep your nice shoulders back and relaxed and just gently breathe out and breathe in. That is quite a nice one. You don't really feel a great expansion, but it's just comfortable. Yeah, and we're breathing nice and low down the body. That's good. And the great thing about breathing into your back is that if you're on a stage and you're up there on your own giving your speech, it kind of gives you that extra feeling of security to have that behind you, that feeling of the breath going in there. So we're just going to play with that a little bit. We never work on breath for more than 2 or 3 minutes at a time. Why? Because if we do, we get lightheaded. Okay? But let's just think about that and just be aware as we do this workshop this evening that we're centering our breath lower down the body. It's not caught high and in our chest like the asthmatic breath. It's low, it's deep, and it's relaxed. And that's very healthy feeling. Good. We're going to wake up our faces now because, as I always say, you never ever get a lively, wonderful, entertaining voice from a flat, dull face. So let's just work our face muscles a little bit. We can give it a little bit of a massage. This is one way of doing it. Just give yourselves a good massage. Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? A nice place to massage is the temple, right by the jawbone. That's very comfy, just a slow massage there. And when I do that, I can actually feel it freeing up the top of my spine, the top of the spine, the bottom of the neck. You can kind of feel something sympathetic there. That's cool. That's really good. Another thing you could do is just screw your face up into a ball, gently, and let each muscle go bit by bit till you come back to normal. That's good. That's quite a good one to do. I'm going to watch you do it this time. Come on, screw your face up. Really go for it. Yeah. And let the muscles go. That's lovely. You see, it's starting to look more lively already, more engaged, more expressive, more lively. I think we need to start to make some sounds now. So we're going to take a nice slow breath, and we're just going to do what I call a siren sound. We're going to take a nice note, sort of a middle-ish note in your voice, and we're just going to go, It's like a plane coming into land. You get that one? I'll show you again. Just breathe. And off you go. You do it. That's it. That's a good one. This is a good way to warm up, actually, before your contests. Humming is a good way to warm up. This kind of sirening is a good way to warm up, because it's an absolutely no stress way of warming through the voice. So we breathe. I'm doing it with a gesture there because it helps you sometimes to get into the movement and the flow. But you can do it with the gesture or without. One more time without them. Here we go. Breathe. Good. And now, do you know what we're going to do? As we've done something very clever, we're going to go down to the lower note and we're going to come back up again. You give it a go. Find that low note. Yeah, good. It works best if we keep our lips nice and loose. You can think about your lips on a cold day. Your lips should blow out, when it's cold. That keeps them nice and loose if you feel you're getting a bit tight here. Okay, but that's a good thing to do. A siren up and down just to warm the voice through. Good. We're going to start to do a little rhyme now. I'm looking forward to doing this rhyme with you. We are going to do Fancy Asking Alice, you said, to dance to that brass band in the Strand. Good. Well, do that line again. I'll line it out for you. You follow me. Make sure you've got your breath taken. It's nice and low. Your posture's good all the way through. Don't be tempted to go into the slouchy position, as is well written in the chat. You can do these exercises standing or sitting as you wish. Okay, both actually work, providing you have a good posture. Fancy asking Alice to dance to that brass band in the Strand. She'd rather sit on a grassy bank with a brandy glass in her hand. Great. I'm going to let you come off mute for a moment because I want to hear what you're doing. Okay? I can see that you're doing good things. I want to hear it. So by all means, hop off the mute button there. We're going to do it again. And I want you to really enjoy all the sounds you're making. One of the things about finding and relaxing and opening our voices is actually getting used to the sound of our voice. We hear the sound of our voice through the captor and the inner ear. So it can be a bit tricky for us, but just getting the feel of the words and the sound of your voice. Let's do it again. Fancy asking Alice to dance
Fancy
Alice to dance
to that brass band in the Strand.
to that brass band in the Strand.
She'd rather sit
She'd
rather sit
on a grassy bank
on a grassy bank
bank
with a brandy glass in her hand.
with a brandy
glass
in her hand.
Well done, everyone. Give yourselves a round of applause. Great work. You see, when I'm doing that, I really go for all of the sounds. It's only an exercise. We're not going to do this when we give a speech. It's an exercise to help free and develop your voice. So it's a means to an end. And that's why we really pursue the sounds. We use all the M's and the N's and we make sounds resonate. Okay? I've got a more contemporary exercise here. Contemporary, because I wrote this one about a year ago. This is one of my exercises. And it's all about the sound of words. Now, I don't know if anybody used to like comic books when they were children. Anyone like comic books here? Yeah? Yeah. I used to love comic books, and it suddenly occurred to me one day when I was sat there with a cup of tea that in comic books you've got all of these sounds that are onomatopoeia. They're words that sound like the thing that they represent. And wouldn't it be good to use some of them to open up our range and vocal variety? And so that's what I've done with this exercise. So you follow me. We're going to make some pretty old strange words, but they're words that I've found all in comic books. And there you are. It's something very contemporary for you this evening. Here we go. You ready? Make sure you're nicely set up with your posture, shoulders nice and back and relaxed. Feeling good sitting there or standing, whichever you are doing. That's great. Here we go. Wham!
Wham!
Puff!
Puff!
Slap!
Slap!
Pow!
Pow!
Whack!
Whack!
Ouch!
Ouch!
Well, that one works really well. Ouch!
Ouch!
Boom!
Boom!
Bang!
Bang!
Crash!
Crash! What's that?
Whiz!
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 Kaplang!
Kaplang!
Shh! Ring a ding ding!
Ring a ding ding!
Ring a ding ding!
Ring a ding ding!
Ding ding.
Shh!
Whoosh.
No!
No!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Huh?
Huh?
Ah!
Ah!
Whoa!
Wow!
Zip!
Zip!
Zap!
Zap!
Fizzle!
Fizzle!
Wee!
Wee!
Great fun. And I know that anybody who's just joined us on the Zoom will think that we're completely crazy, but we're not. You see, there is method in our madness. We're just opening up our vocal variety and we're using comic book words to do it. And it's quite a good way to do it. So have a look yourselves into some comic books and see what words you can play with in terms of making sounds and stretching your vocal variety and vocal range. You are doing that extremely well. Well done, everybody. We're going to move on now to a poem. Now, in the material that you were sent ready for this workshop, there is a poem by Alicia Ostrika, which is called The Dogs at Live Oak Beach. I am going to be joined on screen by Lynn and Sue and Mark and Agnes, who are going to be my poetry reader demonstrators tonight. So here they come. There's Lynn. Hello, Lynn. I haven't said hello to you yet. Here we come. So we've got Lynn, we've got Sue coming next, I think, or Mark. Who's popping up next?
Second.
Were you going to pin all four for me, Christian? Yeah? It's easier if they're all on screen.
bit easier.
Ah, there's Agnes.
Where's Sue? Oh,
Mark's there, and Sue's on her way, I'm sure. There she is. Wonderful. So we have this poem, The Dogs at Live Beach, Santa Cruz. Now, every day offers the possibility of a different approach. I really believe that. Those are the words. It's a quote, actually, an anonymous quote. Every day offers the opportunity for different possibilities. And I think that's true with our Toastmasters speeches and with our presentations, wherever we're giving those, whether we're giving them in our work situation. There's always the possibility for a different approach, a change of approach to find more impact. And that's what we're going to do with this poem. In just a moment, I'm going to work on the poem with my 4 wonderful speakers ahead, and we're going to discuss, I'm going to explain a little bit 4 vocal qualities. Before we do that, there's one last exercise that I wanted to do with you, and it is, this is a big space. Now, the sentence is, this is a big space. Just repeat it back to me. This is a big space.
This is a big space.
Great. Now, I'm going to do it slightly differently. I want you to imitate me each time. So, this is a big space.
this is a big
space.
This is a big space.
This is a big space.
This is a big space.
This is our big space.
This is a big space.
This is a
big
big
space.
This is a big space.
This is a big space.
You see, 5 different ways, the same words, and where you land the intonation, where you land the key word gives us the meaning of the sentence. And I do think that when we're working on our speeches and we're practicing our speeches, and I really encourage you to practice speeches out aloud, when we're practicing them, we need to be more aware of the key words in our sentences. We'll be doing a little bit of that as the workshop goes on this evening, but I'm just introducing the idea to you. So let's move on to our poem, and I would love Lynn to read the first 3 lines of our poem to us, please. So it's The Dogs at Live Oak Beach, Santa Cruz, Alicia or Striker. Over to Lynn.
As if there could be a world of absolute innocence in which we forget ourselves.
Great, thank you, that's tremendous. It brings us to the first element of vocal variety that we're going to discuss this evening, and that is pitch. At what pitch, at what level do we share those first 3 lines? Now, if we start high-pitched, then we sound very enthusiastic and maybe a bit nervous. Medium is kind of conversational flow pitch, and low might sound dark and worried. So I think that we're at the beginning of our poem, we're introducing the idea, and I think that we're in a medium conversational tone. So Lynn, please give us that again with a nice medium conversational tone.
As if there could be a world of absolute innocence in which we forget ourselves.
Yeah, that's nice. It's an introduction to the poem. That's splendid. Great work. Well, the next section is going to be read to us by Sue, please. The owners throw sticks.
The owners throw sticks and half-ball tennis balls towards the surf, and the happy dogs leap after them as if catapulted.
Splendid. Now this leads us to think about tone. What is the mood that we want to create with our voices, with these words? What is the mood?
Happiness.
The mood here is, yes, Sue. Yeah, by all means, say it. The mood is one of action. The mood is one of action. It's lively, it's full of activity, and our voices can react to that. So can you give it again and give us a bit more sense of activity in your delivery, please?
The owners throw sticks and half-ball tennis balls toward the surf, and the happy dogs leap after them as if catapulted.
Splendid. Now that's really, really animated, which is absolutely great. Can we do it but not let the pitch go too high? Because it was very, very high. Try it one more time, because it was lovely.
The owners throw sticks and half-ball tennis balls towards the surf, and the happy dogs leap after them as if catapulted.
There you are. We've got the energy, we've got the action in the poem. That's absolutely great. You know, Volume is another thing that's quite important. There are choices to be made in our speeches and in whatever, if we're reading a poem or an extract from a book. Mostly we're using a comfortable conversational level of volume. We rarely shout, because if we do, people don't want to listen anymore. Except if we're using it as an effect in a story, perhaps. And sometimes we do use a softer tone, a confiding tone. I'm telling you a secret. Shh. That kind of confiding tone. The skill, if you're going to go into the quieter qualities of the voice, is to make sure that the articulation, your consonants, remain firm and crisp. If you take the volume away a bit, the consonants are marked up, and that way we can still hear you, even if you're speaking online or in a room. It still carries and it projects in the room. So that's a tip for you this evening to take away about when you're wanting to use the softer qualities. I think you see for the first and second sections of our poem, we begin in conversational style, and gradually there's an increase in intensity. So there's a natural increase in volume as the dogs leap into the air, which brings a greater sense of expression. Could we please have the next section, which goes from black dogs to tan dogs, and that's Mark.
Black dogs, tan dogs, tubes of glorious muscle, pursuing pleasure more than obedience. They race, skid to a halt in the wet stand. Sometimes they plunge straight into the foaming breakers.
Fantastic. Now, this allows us to think about number 3 element that we're talking about this evening, which is pacing. These dogs are rushing, they're skidding in the water, they're playing around. And there is an increase in pace, in speed, isn't there? I think that goes naturally with that verse of the poem. So we're going to play around with that. In other parts of your speeches, for instance, you'll be slowing down the pace because you want the audience to really drink in your words. So you're slowing down. But on this occasion, I think we just go a wee bit quicker to keep up with the energy of the poem. Could you do that one for us again and reflect that a little bit, Mark, please?
Black dogs, tan dogs, tubes of glorious muscle, pursuing pleasure more than obedience. They race, skid to a halt in the wet sand. Sometimes they plunge straight into the foaming breakers.
Fantastic. There you are. And we've got the sense of excitement going on there, which is wonderful. And, we have a choice of pacing also for the ending of the poem. Would you like to read the last section for us, Agnes, please, from Like Diving Birds?
Like diving birds, letting the green turbulence toss them until they snap and sink teeth into the floating wood, then bound back to their owners, shining wet with passionate speed, for nothing, for absolutely nothing but joy.
So we have a choice, don't we, about how we end the poem. We have a choice whether we're going to go thoughtful in our ending. Is it going to be a thoughtful kind of ending with the conversation delivery, or is it going to be a more energized ending that leaves the audience on a high with the poem? It's a choice. It could be either. Neither way is right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. It's just how we respond to the words and reflect them out to our audience. So how about that we try and end it on a real high, full of joy? Agnes, would you like to do that?
Do the whole thing?
Just that section, yeah, please.
Like diving birds, letting the green turbulence toss them until they snap and sink teeth into floating wood, then bound back to their owners, shining wet with passionate speed, for nothing, absolutely nothing but joy.
Yes, magic. Thank you very much. So all these elements of vocal variety we've been thinking of today, pitch, tone, volume, pace, they're part of your speaker's toolkit. Please experiment on them when you're working on your presentations. Play around with them with your speeches and your presentations, maybe in other contexts. Don't forget that vocal variety has to be connected and anchored in the meaning of your words and in your emotions if it's going to be real for your audience. That is a key thing, I think, that we have to inhabit the words that we say. Sometimes when we've practiced a speech a lot, it can become a bit automatic in places. We need to still connect with the words that we're sharing at all times. To draw the threads of this presentation together, and boy, we're bang on time. Thank you for that, Pamela. That's great. Good to see your green. To draw the threads of this presentation together, I would like our readers, please, to give us the whole poem. So just relay between you. Off you go. Let's have a complete reading of The Dogs at Live Oak Beach, Santa Cruz. Please.
As if there could be a world of absolute innocence in which we forget ourselves.
The owners throw sticks and half-ball tennis balls toward the surf, and the happy dogs leap after them as if catapulted.
Black dogs, tan dogs, tubes of glorious muscle, pursuing pleasure more than obedience. They race, skid to a halt in the wet sand. Sometimes they plunge straight into the foaming breakers.
Like diving birds, letting the green turbulence toss them until they snap and sink teeth into the floating wood, then bound back to their owners, shining wet with passionate speed, for nothing, absolutely nothing, but joy.
Well done. Let's unmute and let's give them all a round of applause. Fantastic work, our readers. Thank you. You see what a difference it makes as well, just to take and isolate these elements and work on them. Makes a huge difference when we reassemble the poem. And also another little treat for you this evening is that Mark has actually walked along this beach. So there you are. He was telling me that today. So he brings real life experience to his reading. That's great. We are going to go in just a moment into a breakout time. I asked that folks bring with them a 2-minute extract from a speech. It has to be 2 minutes maximum because we have 20 minutes in the room. And it's your chance to try out your voice and get some vocal feedback from the other folks in the room. Remember what we're focusing on this evening? Pitch, tone, volume, pace. So it's a chance to deliver a bit of a speech and have some comments on how you're giving and delivering your vocal performance. We'll be put into the breakout rooms by Christian, and I ask you to use the time well. If you don't have a speech extract with you, I have included in the handouts for this event a John F. Kennedy speech all about the decision to go to the moon. This one's persuasive speaking, but you can always read from this a couple of paragraphs if you just want to try out your voice and get some feedback and you didn't bring anything specific along with you. Okay, so I want you to go and have 20 minutes. Make sure you give each other some good and helpful, useful, constructive feedback. Try out your speech extracts, and no doubt I'll be floating between rooms and seeing how you're getting on. Okay, Christian, over to you to send us away, please.
John, you can go with room number 4 or number 5. Those are, oh, yeah, 4 or 5, I think.
the JFK. That's great. The recordings come back on. That's good. We worked on the JFK speech in particular in our setup in our room. We're going to do just a little exercise to gather us together. Then we have a little treat for you, a little extra surprise. And then after that, we'll be doing a table topics session. So first of all, I've got a little exercise for you. So follow me. I like coffee.
I like coffee.
Yeah. Why don't you all unmute? Adam's unmuted, so why don't everybody else? That's it. I like coffee.
I like coffee.
I like tea.
I like tea.
I love chocolate.
I love chocolate.
And when you say I love chocolate, can you feel it right down into your tummy muscles? You know, I love
chocolate.
It's a very simple exercise, but it helps us just to explore the voice a little bit more. Let's do it again. I like coffee.
I like coffee.
I like tea.
I like tea.
I love chocolate.
I love chocolate.
Splendid work. Well done, everybody. Round of applause. We're doing well this evening. We are now going to have a bit of a surprise for you. We're going to hear a little bit of vocal variety worked at through a play sketch, through a scene of a play. It's a little play called Mellow. Only lasts a couple of moments. Now, I have got some wonderful people who are going to join me on screen for this. Here we go. Folks should be coming to me now. There we come. Christian's going to start moving my cast. There we are. There's Poppy Sweet Daisy Chain. She's joining us. The thing that you need to know about this sketch is that even if you're not playing one of the characters, you are a character. You are the audience. I shall want you unmuted because we are going to add in the oohs and the ahs and the boos and the hurrahs. We're going to do our vocal variety that way. I am audience and so are you, okay? So we're all going to be, those of us that are not playing the characters, we're going to be audience and we're going to join in with this. Again, this sketch was sent out in the material that was sent to you, the file. It's called Mellow. It's a little sketch. You can follow it along if you like, or you can just react with me when I react. Here we come. My characters are getting there. So I have Harvey Smiles. Yeah. What about Evil Slime is there? Good. That's Mark. Here we are. We have the PC at the end. We have Officer Proudfoot. He's there. Who don't I have yet? I don't have
The MC.
Beverly, and I don't have MC. So I need Mrs. Daisy Chain, please, who is Beverly, and I need my Mistress of Ceremonies, who is Pema. That's great.
Saving the best for last, clearly.
Ah, here she comes. Here she comes. So we present to you, and I think we could give them a round of applause before they start, please. Because it's great to step into the breach like this and do this performance. Okay, so we are going to hear the sketch Mellow, and I shall ask the Mistress of Ceremonies, who is Pema, to lead the way, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show which you are about to see is a story of sorrow.
Oh!
A story of evil.
Boo!
A story of love and courage.
Hooray!
You will meet a lovely girl called Poppy Sweet Daisy Chain.
Oh!
You will meet an ugly villain called Grime-Faced Evil Slime.
Boo!
And you will meet a handsome hero called Harvey Smiles.
Hooray!
The story begins in the home of Poppy Sweet and Mrs. Daisy Chain, where something appears to be not only not quite right, but wrong.
I don't know what to do, Poppy Sweet, my dear. We haven't any money left. And we can't pay the rent to Mr. Evil Slime.
Oh.
Don't worry, Mama. I'm sure Harvey Smiles, my sweetheart, will help us. He's gone to try to find gold in the hills. I'm sure he will be back soon.
And Mr. Evil Slime needs to unmute, please.
Ah, Mrs. Daisy Chain, where is the money you owe me?
Sorry.
Ooh.
Sorry, Mr. Evil Slime, but I don't have the money.
Then out you go into the street, the dirty, dirty street.
Oh, Mr. Evil Slime, please, please don't throw us out into the dirty, dirty street. I'll do anything to save my mother from such shame.
Oh, anything?
Anything!
Absolutely anything? Then marry me, Poppy Sweet, and your mother shall live here and never be cast out into the street, the dirty, dirty street.
There's nothing else a poor, defenseless girl can do. Oh, how I wish Harvey Smiles, my brave, handsome hero, was here.
Fear not, my Poppy Sweet. I am here to save you, my love.
Hooray!
I have found the gold in the hills. Take your money, Mr. Evil Slime, and be gone.
Hooray!
I intend to take more than money, Harvey Smiles.
See the wicked evil slime. Point his pistol at Harvey, grab the money, take hold of Poppy Sweet, and drag her from the room.
That evil villain has taken my dear Poppy Sweet away in his carriage.
Oh, what shall we do? What shall we do?
Have no fear, Miss Daisy Chain. I, Harvey Smiles, shall rescue her.
Hooray!
You are so brave, Harvey.
Sorry, Miss Daisy Chain, I didn't quite hear that. Please, can you repeat that?
Get over yourself, Harvey. Seriously. Poppy, we have to talk.
Oh, yes, I know now, Miss Daisy Chain. Now, look, find Officer Proudfoot and tell him to meet me at Slime Hall within the hour.
The scene now changes to a room in Slime Hall, where the dreaded evil slime is tying Poppy Sweet to a chair.
Do not scream, my little sweet. You will come to no harm. I will look after you. Oh, yes, yes. Soon I will do away with Harvey Smiles, and then you and the gold will be mine, all mine.
Ooh.
Then unhand that girl, evil slime.
Hooray!
Prepare to meet thy doom.
Watch Harvey Smiles, without fear or reason, launch himself at evil slime and try to wrench the pistol from him. Backward and forward they wrestle, until at last Harvey dashes the pistol from evil slime's hand so that it hurtles across the floor.
Hooray!
Your vicious, scheming, ungentlemanly days are over, evil slime. Hold out your wrists while I put on the cuffs.
Curses, you have beaten me today, but I shall return.
Enough. Off to the jail with you.
Oh, my dear Poppy Sweet, at last you are safe.
Only because you are so strong and brave, my dear Harvey.
I'm sorry, my dear Poppy Sweet, I did not quite catch that. Please,
You
could
are
you say that again,
strong
please?
and brave, my dear Harvey.
Oh, hooray!
Hooray!
Ray?
I know, but
You are so good too, Harvey.
I know, Poppy, I know.
Now the two sweethearts leave the room undismayed. You live happily ever after.
Oh.
And grime-faced evil slime languishes in the jail until he's paid for all his crimes.
Hooray!
Round of applause to everybody. You see, wasn't that fun? What a great cast we have assembled here. And just, for this little scene reading, great work, everybody. Loved it. Now, it shows us we have quite often in our speeches and presentations, we use our storytelling, we use dialogue. Well, here is a way of practicing dialogue. It's just to take a little scene. There are lots of scenes like this that you can find online, and get a couple of friends together and start playing with dialogue. Again, it's going to open up your vocal range and your vocal variety for you. So that's why we did that this evening. And I'm really grateful to everybody for joining in. And especially, we had a couple of guests in there because we had our division director, who is Poppy Sweet Daisy Chain, who's also known as Marianne Ledger, and we also had the president of Excalibur Speakers, on the in-person club, Adam Paldina, joined us especially for that too. But thank you to all my cast and great work. I think that we should end this workshop in a real traditional Excalibur style, which is that we're going to do some table topics. Lynn is going to be our table topics master for the evening. It's going to be absolutely splendid. Now, in Excalibur, we do give on-the-spot evaluations to the topics. So you could be called as a topic speaker or an evaluator. If you're called as an evaluator, try to include in your evaluation something about the vocal performance of the speaker you've heard. Is it going to be about pitch? Is it going to be about tone? Is it going to be about volume? Is it going to be about pacing? Try to include that in your evaluations. I'm going to hand over now to our very able club sponsor and indeed district officer, Lynn Geyer.
Hi everybody. Pema, can I ask you to put your hand up, your virtual hand, so everyone can see the timer in the corner? That would help. There we go. That's fantastic. And so my theme for the table topics tonight, when we had to do the poem, it was about dogs. I thought, wouldn't it be great to include other animals? So in doing my research, I found wonderful nouns that actually talk about a collective group of animals. So that is what my table topics is based around tonight. So I am going to be like a little statement or part of a story, and then you just have to go with it, go with the flow and talk about the animals. So I'm just going to literally pick people on my screen. First one on my screen, we'll do a table topic, and followed by the next person will be an evaluation. So just go for it, go guys, and embrace it. So Spaceman, you are the first person, and tonight your table topic is: it was wonderful to see the flamboyance of flamingos at the party. It was wonderful to see the flamboyance of flamingos at the party. Spaceman.
Yeah, you often see flamingos at a fancy dance party. It's a kind of rare. It was a bit of a problem. They started running around and attacking people. And then they started going over and hitting the waiters, and they kept poking them in the crotch. It was rather very uncomfortable for a lot of people. I mean, they were colorful, true. I mean, there are pink things flashing all over the place. But as the whole riot broke in, and of course, when the firemen had to come in, that really kind of put a damper in the whole thing. And then they were like spraying the water, and the birds were flying all over people were flying all over the place too, because they used the high pressure hose, never used the high pressure hose. So they would like blast people across, and birds across the entire floor. By the time they finished that fancy dress ball, it looked like it had been, well, hit by a bunch of flamingos and firemen squirting high pressure hoses in it. So it was really kind of a problem all the way through. But some people actually liked it. They thought it was a great thing, and I think it's actually going to be made into a movie. They're going to call it the Flamingo Attack at the Fancy Dress Ball, and we'll see it. It's rated R. A little bit of flamingo nudity in there, but actually I think they did a very sensitive job on it. So you might want to check that out if you got a chance.
Okay, thank you very much. The flamboyance of flamingos. Thank you, Mr. Spaceman. And to evaluate for 45 seconds, I'm going to ask Helen, the president of Lakeshore Speakers.
Well, I really love the creativity. And you drew me in with your story, and it went all over the place because your pace was so fast. So I really enjoyed that. Now, having said that it was very fast, it was also I got lost in your story. So maybe a little bit of pauses once in a while, so just could get it back into what you want to say. But I love the creativity. I loved your pace, and I just could see all these dancing flamingos in front of me. Back to you, Lynn.
Well done, Helen. Thank you very much. Okay, Simon, I'm going to come to you. So I was sitting at my desk when a crash of rhinoceroses charged through the house. I was sitting at my desk when a crash of rhinoceroses charged through the house. Simon.
Sitting at my desk in the office. Well, I work with some pretty crazy people in my office, and sometimes it feels like I'm with some wild animals with the screaming and the shouting and everything else. But then I wasn't prepared for this. Suddenly, the windows crashed. Rhinoceroses came running through. I thought, what? Where are we? We're not in the middle of a safari park. I'm in an office in North London. How can the rhinoceroses suddenly come through? And all the people, particularly a lady I work with that shouts and screams a lot, went quiet and said to me, Simon, can you protect me from these rhinoceroses? I don't know how or what I'm supposed to do. So I decided I had to be the hero. And I jumped in and pulled her to one side. And she fainted in my arms. And so I think, what do I do next? The rhinoceroses, I ran out of the front door. The rhinoceroses were coming after me. And I just thought to myself, is this reality or am I dreaming this? I fell over, woke up, and realized it was all a dream.
Thank you, Simon. And that was the crash of rhinoceroses. Thomas, would you like to do the 45-second evaluation?
Yes. It was an amazing speech about office life. I've never been in such an office. I felt the whole scenery, how Simon was expressing it. One recommendation I have for him is when he was talking about that beast coming into the office, maybe with more vocal variety, a bit louder, or like with more noise to really bring the words into the sorry, to describe what really the scenery is. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks very much. All right, so Daniel. There was a convoy of giraffes eating the trees in my garden. There was a convoy of giraffes eating the trees in my garden. Daniel.
Have you ever seen an armed militia of malicious giraffes posing poignant, gallivanting into your garden. Well, I can't say that I had until today, where I saw these spotted people, places. I'm so confused and so overcome that I can't even make out what's going on in my garden. It's all very frantic. I can see them chewing away at the hedges, the trees, the landscape, well, what was left of it. And then suddenly I heard the sound of sirens blaring in the distance. And I thought, hopefully help is on the way. Help! Help! And I kept waving frantically. But then the police, the fire engines, and everything else went past. And I was still left with giraffes. And all I could do was offer them some bird feed. But then they flew. They flew away from my garden. Did they grow wings? No, I think I must have eaten mushrooms. There wasn't much room in with the mushrooms or the giraffes in the garden. I think I'm going to have a lie down. Do you need a lie down? I think so. Madam Topics Master.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much. And that was a convoy of giraffes. So can we have Alexandra, please, to give the feedback?
I was absolutely blown away. In fact, it would be one of the best things that I have ever imagined if I could just share the dream. I enjoyed the vocal variety.
Oh, I think we might have hung.
Alexandra's gone for me too.
Yep. She has hung. Okay, I'm going to pause that. I'm sure she can. Oh,
Speech.
you're back. Alexandra, we lost you. You hung. So if
Oh,
you
sorry. Yeah, I do have an issue here with the connection. So I felt that it was undulating, and I could feel the rhythm and the words walking side by side. Excuse my English. So I really enjoyed it, and the part with the mushrooms was amazing because it sort of grounded us in a really nice way and wrapped it up in a manner that we could all share. So, kudos.
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you. Well done for dealing with the technology there. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to go to Rexana. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
I hope I've said it right. Okay, so Rexana, I hope I've pronounced it right. Roxana, you could hear the pack of wolves in the distance. You could hear the pack of wolves in the distance. Roxana.
I live in the desert. There isn't much going on in the desert, really, except a few camels once in a while. Wolves? I don't know. Have you ever seen a wolf in the desert? Well, after living in the desert for a very, very long time, 22 years, I actually saw my first desert fox. Do you know what color a desert fox is? White. Yes, I saw a pack of white desert wolves in the desert. And I didn't know what to do. So what did I do? I ran and got my camel. I hopped on my camel and I rode all the way back into town and left that pack of white desert wolves where they belong, in the sand, looking for water.
Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Are they actually white?
I think so. We can look it up.
Elia, would you like to do the 45-second evaluation?
Yeah. So I like how Roxana did the repetition, like she put the emphasis that she lives in a desert, and it's not something that you usually see in a desert wolves, and how she turned the story around, like to show like, okay, you can see wolves in the desert. I would like to see like if she used more vocal variety in her speech. Yeah.
Okay, Alia, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, are we all right for time? I think we have got time for probably one more. Afia, are you okay to do one? Okay, Afia. It was mesmerizing to watch the pod of whales from the ship. It was mesmerizing to watch the pod of whales from the ship.
It was mesmerizing to watch the pod of whales from the ship. I was there on holiday for the first time in what felt like forever. I was tired and ready to enjoy my wonderful holiday. And as I lay there on the ship, not lost at sea, but in the middle of the sea, I saw the pod of whales jump in front of me almost. That's what it felt like. Jumped in front of me in a beautiful oval shape and jumped back in the water. And what a sight it was to behold. I wanted to take my phone and take a selfie of myself next to the whales jumping over me. But unfortunately, they jumped so quickly that I wasn't able to take that selfie and get those pictures for Instagram. But nevertheless, it was an important message to me, an important lesson that taught me to live in the moment. And I certainly did live in that moment whilst I saw those whales jump. How beautiful they were, their beautiful blue color, the noise that they made. It was a sight to behold. And in that moment, I thought, there's nowhere I'd rather be, not quite lost at sea, but definitely feeling very much like me. Back to you, fellow Toastmasters.
Afia, thank you very much. That was lovely. Very, very descriptive. Idil, would you like to do 45-second feedback?
I'm so sorry. I got a call when Afia was talking, so maybe another one.
Okay, okay. Peru or Amira? Amira, are you there? Amira would like to do 45-second feedback. Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear. While you sort that one out, Meltem, are you there? No, okay. Then Adam, you're next on my list. So Adam, you're doing the about 45-second evaluation.
With pleasure, Lynn. With pleasure, and I hope our fellow Toastmasters are okay. And Afia's delivery, vocal delivery was crystal clear the whole way through. Sounded like it was like she was reading from a book which she wrote, but it was perfectly suited for not being lost at sea, but for finding that peace at sea. And again the beautiful blue color, alliteration, rhetorical devices throughout really added to that. On the topic of vocal variety, I'd encourage Afia to think about tempo. Which is equally important as intonation. Perhaps an elevated tempo when the whales are jumping out of the sea could be used to amplify the excitement which she is feeling in the moment. But and also creating contrast from the slower paces at the beginning and the ends of the speech. But thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm wondering what other stories she could tell so crisply.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you for stepping in. Really appreciate that. I think my time is up. So having had a flamboyance of flamingos, a crush of rhinoceroses, a convoy of giraffes, a pack of wolves, a pod of whales, I'm going to hand back over to our president, Andrew.
What a menagerie. Fantastic set of topics from Lynn this evening. Let's give her a round of applause. We've accomplished much in a short space of time. I think one of the things we've proved to each other this evening is that the best way to find that vocal variation, that vocal variety, is to experiment and to try different approaches. We tried the poem, we applied it to speeches, we had the sketch, we had exercises, we tried different ways to find it, and it was just literally opening up our minds to the idea of the possibilities of our own voices, which is an exciting thing, and I hope that you've been excited with me this evening. We've certainly made a huge progress from the beginning of the workshop to the end of the workshop, and I've been delighted to have you here with us at Excalibur Online Global Speakers. It's been great to have you here working on your voices this evening. You know, it's a subject that I'm very passionate about. It's been a central focus of my life, both sung and speech. So it's very precious for me to have you all here joining in this workshop session. And we like to do things that interest advanced speakers in this club. This is an advanced speakers club. We tackle lots of topics that maybe you don't get to hear about elsewhere in other clubs. Absolutely great to have you here. Give yourselves a massive round of applause. Let's see those reaction buttons go, because it's been a really great evening. Wonderful. I'm going to send up a few hearts as well, because I've enjoyed myself thoroughly. Fantastic.